Our guest today needs no introduction. Mr. Jayant Tanna has been on our show before talking about the schooling system in India. As the chairman of Eastleigh Secondary School alumni, he has been to a successful field trip to his own school in Nairobi, and today he is here to share his experiences and views with us. Very good morning, Jayant.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you back here.
Thank you very much.
So, how was Nairobi? So, what is your involvement with the school?
A few years back, we decided that we needed to support the school because it was going downhill in many respects. The economic situation was poor. The school buildings were suffering, and we thought if there was one way that we could repay to our school what we had got from it, it would be by supporting the infrastructure, if we could, the buildings and the premises, if you like, and then help in some curricular way. So that is what we try to do. So what we did was we had a reunion of all the old boys, another one in September 2011. The first one was in 2006. So this time again we collected some money, the surplus and so on, and we donated 33 computers to the school, which they were very grateful for. Being a retired education consultant, I was also able to help them by going into classrooms, observing lessons, giving them feedback. I also did a few training sessions with them, showing them videos of classrooms in the UK. And I also had a session with each of the year groups, you know, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, of all the pupils in the school. So that was quite exciting.
So you clearly had a very busy time.
Very busy 2 weeks there, full time almost. It felt like going back to work.
Okay. So I know that you have conducted sessions for teachers and students both in India and Kenya. So I just want to know, are there any common factors? Are there any commonalities?
Yes, there are many commonalities. They all suffer from funding issues. Teachers are poorly paid, as they are in India. So at the moment we've got about 600 teachers leaving. They left, in fact, in the last 6 months. So a lot of teachers are leaving the profession in droves. That is a problem, especially when the government is trying to make an education a right for everybody. So it is now compulsory up to the age of 12 or 13, I think, and it is free. But in spite of that, there isn't enough money to pay new teachers. There has been a freeze on teacher recruitment for the last 11 years.
In both countries, in Kenya?
No, in Kenya. So that's the difference, if you like. And they are not recruiting new teachers in spite of the fact that there are more children. So the classes have gone up from 45 per class to 60 per class. And you still have the same number of teachers. That is the reason why. So that's the reason why I think things are more difficult. Very similar to the situation in India in terms of funding in education. And the same in terms of teacher support and development.
Are there any things which are country specific, which might differ from country to country in India and in Kenya?
Yes, I think what is different is that their language is English. Yes, Swahili is their mother tongue. But they don't have any other language of instruction in schools like they have in India. They would have their regional language, they would have the national language, they might have a different state language and so on. Whereas in Kenya there is just one language, English, and that makes it slightly easier. The students are much more confident, they're much more aware, and you know, if you look at what I saw in the first year in the school, it augurs well for the future. They're very confident, very keen, very ambitious students who want to make, you know, something out of their lives. And that's what I was asking them to do the best they could at school, to respect the teachers, their parents, but then to come back to school and to repay the school as well as to society. And that I think is what is required in India as well.
I mean, coming back to India, the government of Gujarat has recently announced ambitious plans to implement right to education in India and in the state of Gujarat.
That's
So
right.
do you think, is it right step towards achieving the Millennium Development Goal on education? What do you think of them?
Yes, I think it is the right step. They will develop education, and they'll be able to meet the Millennium Development Goals just by saying we've got in, all the pupils in schools. But in terms of quality, what the RTI, what the rules that Gujarat government have come out with are rules pertaining to recognition of private schools, non-funded private schools, which is good because rather than just looking at the input measures of classroom size and playground size, they're looking at the outcomes, in terms of what pupils are gaining, how is compared to the achievement the previous year. They're also looking at feedback from parents. They're also looking at achievement in terms of non-academic issues like sports and so on, which is good. So it's a well-rounded education that they're looking at. The difficulty, obviously, is they're not putting in enough emphasis on the quality of teaching and learning.
So that's still lacking.
Unless, yes. I mean, it's no use knocking it. It's a good thing. It's a good first step. But I think they need to look at the quality of teaching and learning in schools. Because however good your outcomes might be, they might be as a result of private tuitions. They might be as a result of good homes and good parenting. It is not necessarily something that the schools or the teachers are doing. And so I think they need to then shift the gears slightly upwards to ensure that they're also looking at the quality of learning, the quality of teaching, and the standards of education achieved by the school to develop the whole child, if you like.
And from your experience, do you think there are possibilities of cross-learning? I mean, from India and from Kenya, are there any possibilities of learning mutually and benefiting from it?
Yes, certainly. I think there is a lot they could learn from each other because the issues are very similar in terms of the bad economic situation in many instances. The one thing that separates, for example, the situation in Kenya to the one in Gujarat or Bhuj or anywhere is that there is still a big law and order situation in Kenya, especially after in the evenings and so on. So that doesn't make it easy for you to inspire children into ways of looking at society and so on. That drags it down a bit, if you like.
It's not very conducive atmosphere.
Yes, conducive to learning because there are all those kinds of situations and threats and so on. But otherwise, yes, they could learn from each other. The development of IT is a good area because it has taken off in a big way in India. There's a lot that other developing countries could learn in developing IT, especially for schools and learning. And also in terms of looking at how you deal with a situation where there is growing demand for education and the funds are in fact not enough. So you need to look at how you can achieve the best of both worlds. Good education growth in an environment of poor economic situation. There is a lot that they could learn mutually, yes.
Well, thank you. It was really very insightful. And if you want to know more about this, please log on to our website, which is gyanayatra.affp.org.uk. Thank you.